Okay, the roadmap is case, CTBT disad, the space assurance counterplan, framework, then the power dominance. Okay, ready? Right. First on case, they did not answer any of the harms, which means that all these harms are within the status quo. We have the harms of asteroids coming, the economy failing, lowering hedge. We have all these harms, so it shows how the status quo fails. This means that there's a problem within the status quo and something has to happen. This is try or die. So if they don't have any sort of a counter plan or any other solution, you still have to vote on the plan because we have all these harms. Next, let's go to the advantages. All the advantages are dropped. I'm just going to go by this fast. First, we have the asteroid advantage. It has 3 harm scenarios about how we die from global extinction, how we also die from accidental launch. We also die from the impact of asteroids. We have 3 impact scenarios which we solve for within our plan. Next, the economy. The economy is going down. Our plan increases the economy by pushing money into a new industry. We solve for the impact scenario. We also solve for the hedge scenario, which means we solve for the hedge scenario because this plan gives us hard power, which allows us to spread democracy. As a result of democracy, our card has shown that we solve for all global. We get world peace from our scenario because when everyone's democratic nations, like the card say, we all work things out. Next, so extend that across your flow. We win all this. There's no concessions. Solvency, we win on the arms race card. No other country we get arms race because we're the first one there. Second, it's prevent authoritarian because when we're up there, we allow people to have voices and everything because we're a good nation. Next, let's go to the CTBT. First of all, we will concede that right now CTBT is going to try to be passed, but they never answer our card that says a lot of presidents want to pass CTBT, right? But it never happened. Like our card says, even 8 years ago, 10 years ago, multiple presidents tried to pass CTBT, but they still fail. So that means, what is the difference between this plan? There is no difference on how this plan is going to pass CTBT. So the uniqueness is weak. Next, let's go to the link. Yes, we will concede that it costs political capital. Next, right? The internal link is weak because they're saying nuclear fusion weapons will equal proliferation. We're all going to die. First of all, there's no such thing as nuclear weapons. It's not developed, right? And even if it's going to be developed and spread, right? First of all, the fact that we solve for world peace with our democratic cards, no other country will even attack us, right? So that doesn't work. That impact scenario goes away. So CTBT has no impact scenario. Next, let's go to counterplan. First of all, the counterplan has no net benefit because they're saying, oh, the net benefit is it avoids politics. First of all, the politics scenario has no impact, so that doesn't matter. And so the counterplan has no net benefit. It says and they say that the counterplan somehow wins. Somehow the counterplan solves for the case, but first of all, it doesn't solve for the case because it doesn't get the hedge advantage. Right? We're not putting anything up there. It's just a treaty, right? Second, it doesn't solve for asteroid or anything else because it doesn't deflect or anything. So the counterplan fails because it can't get any of the advantages. So you can't vote on the counterplan. Second, the counterplan fails of 2 reasons. International law. They never answer our argument about international law. International law fails because no other country follows it. Right? It's just an agreement by 2 other nations, and countries always, go back on their word. So there's no reason why this counterplan would work. Next of all, let's go to the framework. They say policy comes first. First of all, even though policy might come first, right? In this round, it's all policy debate. That card doesn't really matter. Next, they say we say it seats to elites. So the fact that they want to step out of the political barrier, they're only going to re-entrench the political barrier, which means that so they can't get really anything done because even they try to fix stuff on the micro level, like the grassroots level, even in the politics scenario, they can't get anything, right? So, and they have a voter on framework. Voter is not a framework. Voter is just a way you view the debate. It's not a reason to reject this. The framework doesn't vote. There's no reason that our 2 frameworks can't coincide. Next, let's go through the counterplan. First of all, we're going to concede that we increase the power in space, first of all, but we turned their impact scenario because they're saying power dominance equals, you know, all these genocides, because first of all, it doesn't, because our cards have shown how when the U.S. gets power, we prevent authoritarian, like our card, we get to spread democracy, right? So as a result of us increasing U.S.'s power, good things happen. So we straight turn the K, right? So there is no scenario where the, you know, the U.S. is evil. There's no reason to reject. Stop it. Press the